Hey everybody, welcome back to Earworm. My name is Timothy Malone. I'm with my co-host, Young Master Zachary here.
What's up,
Um,
everybody?
yeah, and our this is what I think about our
Seventh.
episode, our tenth
Seventh.
Yeah,
episode,
no,
the ninth that we've
yeah,
recorded in our
Seventh.
episode.
yes,
Um,
official.
Seventh.
so this is our first episode podcast recording of one of the highlights that we wanted to do on a regular basis is concerts that either he or I, Zach or I, or both of us together, hopefully, go to. And we wanted to discuss it because we're big concert guys. We kind of became even closer friends because we went to go see Breland downtown Philly. That was a freaking blast, remember?
Yep, we mentioned
Uh,
that on the pod already once.
Oh yeah, we repeat ourselves and be redundant. That's fine. And then so Zach is going to take the helm here. He went to a show recently. He went to go see one of my favorite musicians, one of my favorite artists, one of my dad, 85-year-old father's favorite musicians, Post Malone with opening act Jelly Roll. Zach, how was it, buddy?
So I was going into this expecting a ton from Post Malone. Post Malone is very special to me. I know we've talked about him in the past before, but it was different, man. Like the way the way him and Jelly Roll brought the energy was unbelievable. I wasn't a big Jelly Roll fan going into it. I thought he came off like I got his story, but I thought he came off whiny to a point where it's like, come on, man, like grow out of your thing. But the second he came on that screen, I've never seen somebody smile that big. Like he was so happy to be there, man. And I said to my girlfriend Kate when we were going in there, I said, I'm not excited for him, but I'm sure he's going to change my mind. And dude blew me away. Like he didn't have any of the fireworks or anything that Post Malone had. Post Malone had a ton. But Jelly didn't need it. Like he showed the passion in a different way. And it was refreshing. It really changed my opinion on him. Go ahead, what do you got, Timmy?
No, but you could you. It's funny. I have something comparable to that. Maybe I'll save it for later. But you seem like you could feel his energy going on that stage compared to your average big star who's out there on the big giant stage. And like, all right, I can do my other show, and I got another one tomorrow night, and then we're going to travel to Minneapolis. I got to do another one. And he seemed to be. Can I bring up like a thought here? Like he seemed to be thankful and like so proud to be there, if you will.
Yeah, and that's kind of the weird thing with him, I guess, because and not to get into religion and all that stuff, but I was
Right.
raised Catholic and
Hmm.
I was raised to believe in all that stuff. I don't know what my beliefs are anymore. I believe in something, but it is what it is. So when I first heard him, it was okay, he's a super like I just didn't resonate with me. Wasn't the right one. But then like you're saying, thankful. Like when he walked out on that stage, it was a little rainy. There was a rainbow up there. Citizens Bank Park looked phenomenal. The way they set it up, like it was the entire outfield was
Right.
a stage, and it came all the way like to second base, so they could walk all the way out there. It was gigantic. But when he walked out there, he was just like really thankful. And I get it now. Not that we, believe in the same thing, but
Right.
I get it. Like his past kind of being, he had some wrongdoings and whatever. He spent some time in jail, but he got out and he's making the best of it and he's enjoying every second of it.
Yeah.
It's
I
unbelievable.
so I told you the story probably at our local joint that I took my girlfriend to the first day of See Here Now, and the
Mhm.
headliner was Noah Khan, and he wouldn't stop saying how like he was just like, I can't believe I'm here. I am headlining the first day of See Here Now. Bruce Springsteen is headlining the second day. I mean, that's kind of a big deal. And in my experience, Zach, I think you and I have been to a bunch of concerts. That was the first time I ever saw that from an artist, in my
In
opinion.
in that way,
Yeah.
all of them say it. It's like, oh,
Oh,
this is
thanks
my
for being
favorite
here.
stop on tour. Like, I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm here. Like,
Again.
yeah. But then you look at a story like that, and it's like, damn, I really can't believe I'm here. Like,
Yeah.
it's very different. So he completely changed my mind on first of all, him as a person. I think him and Post Malone are my two favorite people in music now. They're just so real. They're so real. They let all their emotions out, and it's refreshing to see.
Yeah.
It's not, watered down by the media or the new kind of stuff. It's what their thoughts are, and it's true. Um,
So,
and
I
he
mean,
went for over an hour.
Jelly Roll did
Jelly did, and
for
you know what? I could have listened to him for another hour.
that's pretty impressive for an opening act because usually they come in, play like 4 or 5 songs,
Yeah.
maybe play like a little mini encore, and then
So they
hey,
had that too. I feel so bad. I don't remember the band's name. But Kate sent the text out to you guys that I
do you
was
want to
on.
describe it for everybody in our listening audience? By the way,
I'll try to put the picture kind of
mm.
up here. But this is who was on, and tell me it's not me before I got rid of the squirrel.
Yeah,
Tell me that's not me
I was
right there.
wondering. I might have brought up like, dude, what happened? What happened? Did you get something happen?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's
to,
starting to.
yeah, for the entire listening audience, his girlfriend Kate, one of my favorite people, sent out to a group text saying like, "Hey, look, Zach's up on stage. Everybody, you got to take a
Every
look
time.
at this." I mean, oh my god, it was ideal. Everybody was like punching each other in the arm because it was so funny. How was
It
that guy? What
was
I wish.
it was Chandler Walters.
See, that name sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, we're live. Every search. Yeah, that's him. Yep, Chandler Walters, and he had a pretty good band behind him. He was awesome. He played some covers of like Chesney or whatever, like that kind of stuff. Like he sounded really really good, and behind them they sounded great too. But Jelly went for almost over an hour because he did the covers like his parts of the one with like MGK, um,
Right.
Lonely Road. Like he
Yeah.
was putting all those parts, those his covers into it, so that kind of prolonged it a little bit. But again, it felt like 25 minutes by the time he was done, and it was almost an hour and 15.
So, Zach, just clue me in here. You were familiar with these at least one or two Jelly Roll songs before you went to go see him in concert, right?
Yes. The
Okay.
couple that were, in my opinion, overplayed on the radio, and that's probably why I was just turned off from them a little bit. But yes, I knew a couple of them.
Okay. So yeah, because I was curious because I made save it for another episode. There's been a few times in my life I went to go see a show, whether it was a festival or like opening acts, and all of a sudden somebody comes on, and you're like looking at your friends or looking at your whoever you're there with, and you're like, holy crap, who are these guys?
Who's
Or
this guy?
yeah. So I was
Yeah.
just curious about that, and and Jelly Roll's a. I mean, at this point, I feel he's a pretty big artist, pretty popular, especially in country music,
Big
even in
name, and he's a
popular.
pretty big body. Start calling that guy Big Sexy.
That was going
That
to
boy
be
is something else, man.
one of my questions because like I have a question for you then to transition to Posty. Is he a big guy too? Because I've never seen him
Pussy,
live. Posty,
Pussy's small. Well,
really?
he's tall, but he's so skinny. Like he's got that like medium shirt like tucked all the way into his pants, and there's just nothing.
All right, so
He's
I shouldn't have worn this shirt today. I'm like, all right, damn it!
it's kind of you're kind of bulging down there a little bit. I see.
Wow! All right, I hear you. All right, that's what my that's what my girlfriend said the other day too.
Man,
Holy,
hey, um,
jeez. Uh,
well,
um,
but here's another thing. They both sounded as good, if not better, than they do on the radio.
so question I had on my list is their sound, especially in Citizens Bank Park. I've seen one show, maybe two shows at Citizens Bank Park, and I was up in a box, and I was up in not even I was like in like a suite, like no joke. They had like a private
Like,
bar in there. Yeah.
it's like real long. Yeah, those fancy shit.
No, I mean this was like a company that was like a vendor of mine, and like you could sit there, and I mean you didn't have to go down to the seats. You could just sit there and watch it,
Yeah.
and then there was like a bartender with a bar behind you and stuff like that. So I didn't really like. I didn't get the I didn't grasp the whole scene there, and
So what was the stage like though? Was it after a ball game? Was it like a tiny stage or was it a bigger stage?
it was a bigger stage, and it was like if you're on the first base line, it was like on this it was like in right field towards down towards the first base line into, and it was like it was like pushing out into the other like to third base, so we were looking at it from the side, and we were racing at
Oh,
the side of the concert. But I mean, give me a break. It was, it was pretty freaking
so
cool.
that's what I've heard. Like we bought these tickets like over a year ago because I've been this big of a fan of Posty and I've traveled and money and all this stuff. I've never been able to see him. So we may have made this one work. We said we're gonna go see him. And going into it, that was our thought. It was like we've heard people going there and like if you're on the side of the stage, you can't really hear much. But we were like we could see the whole stage, but we were on the side. It was, dude, it was loud as hell. You can hear everything.
So, I mean, was there? I mean, quite honestly, I've been in stadiums for many dozens and dozens of concerts, and sometimes it's echoey. There was it echoey at all, or
I haven't see that's the thing. I haven't been in many stadiums for concerts.
mm.
I went to MetLife for Taylor Swift back in the day before she was this big, so suck on that. But that was a little echoey up there. I don't know if it's because it was round or bigger. I don't know. This one, it sounded really good, and even like over the fireworks, you could hear everything.
I mean, I think one of my first stadium shows, I went to a show at the Vet, and I went to a show at JFK. I went to I'm going to date myself right now. My After my freshman year of high school, I went to Monsters of Rock at JFK Stadium, which isn't even there anymore. And I was up in the stands, and I don't and I don't remember like the echoes, but I went to shows at like in at San Diego at where the Padres used to play out in Fashion Valley, and I remember like
Not
it,
PNC, the old one.
it's the old one, not where the Padres played downtown. It's
Yeah. Okay.
I want to say Jack Murphy Stadium. Yeah. Anyway, that was like echoey. I remember listening to like Dave Matthews concert like at Jack Murphy Stadium. I'm like, what the farts, man? This is anyway. I was curious, but so to specifically Posty, he did question on my list. He did all country Posty.
So I brought the set list up. There were, if you include the encore, there were 26 songs that he played. Wrong Ones, Go Flex. So that's kind of a mix between his genres. That was before the country,
Okay.
but it wasn't so much like full whatever. And then Hollywood's Bleeding was in there. I Fall
Really?
Apart. Yeah, that was in there. And then I Fall Apart. And then he did Losers. So we brought Jelly Roll out for Losers, obviously, which unbelievable. Um, Goodbyes. So back a little ways. And then he did Mexico. So he was bouncing back and forth, man. But
See,
even when he did the slow songs, he kept you in it. You weren't bored, like
that
at all.
was so I told you. I mean, I have them right over here. My questions on my phone. That was my biggest curiosity because most albums have between like I don't know 6 and 12 songs depending on maybe you have if it's a double album maybe they have more than that. And I was curious as to whether I mean was he out there with a acoustic guitar playing in Hollywood's Bleeding like
No, it was the intro to Hollywood's Bleeding. So he got into to that kind of part where it made you really get like heavy into it and like really
right
feel the energy.
right
And then he would play again a poppy song like Mexico, and you'd be up there jamming around. And then he'd play I Fall Apart, and it's like, it's just everything kind of the way he did it. I think the flow, obviously, he really thought it out. Um, but just the flow of it, man, was insane. There was never a dull moment. Like I think it was. the best concert experience I've had, especially his 2+ hours of him doing it. It was one of the best I've been to.
So he actually played for 2+ hours.
Yep. And it
Like that.
was, again, like Jelly Roll. I could listen to him for another hour. It
So,
was 11 o'clock or so by the time he was done. And I was like, I don't
dude,
know, fuck, I just want to keep going. It was so cool, man.
that is extremely impressive. I mean, I've seen, and there's been like stories about really huge bands that go on there, play for like an hour, and like, thanks, see you, but, and everyone's like, how much did they pay for these tickets?
Yeah.
But like 2 hours is no joke.
2+ hours, no breaks, like rolling through. Plus, the guy's ripping cigs the entire time. So the lung capacity, the drive this guy's got with all that going in there, it's pretty impressive. But like we were walking up the stands trying to find a beer or something like that, or
Yeah,
find a
yeah.
seat, and I look over to the left and I go, oh, that's probably the beer stock for like the carts and everything. It looks like a mile long. That was just fireworks. It wasn't beer, it was just fireworks. Amount of fireworks for this show was just out of pocket, but he used them in the right way. He had fireballs, he had normal, fireworks going up, but he knew when to use them,
Yeah.
and it was pretty impressive. The only thing that I would say is when he played White Iverson, obviously he had Iverson come out.
Did he shut up?
He didn't say anything. He
So,
didn't
so
say anything.
I'm going to pause right there because we're in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
He had Allen Iverson come out on stage.
White Iverson. So he starts playing the song, and if you were there, you'd be thinking, wonder if Allen Iverson's back there. Like, where is he?
I was
And
thinking the same thing when you said it, like, oh, he played White Iverson. I'm like,
yeah, he
yeah.
goes out, he struts out to the second base like thing out there where he's you know turns around and he starts walking back, and here's this dude that looks like he's a regular Philly guy. Just hey, and like I'm like, shit, it's Iverson.
Did
And this guy
you?
behind me, he's like, is that Iverson? I'm like, yeah. Like he didn't say anything. He just let it happen, and then AI just left. He was out for 20 seconds, and he boop, out of here.
Did everybody around you know that it was Iverson?
No, like he's standing on the stage, and you'd think he'd get this crazy pop when they showed him on nothing. He didn't even like
That's
turn. Hey, the Billy, oh, this is AI. He's there, just how you doing? It was kind of weird, like anticlimactic. It was really cool that he was out there. Like, don't get me wrong, it was really cool that he was out during that song.
absolutely.
But that was probably the only fumble of the show. It was just, why not get a quick pop out of AI? Just say something.
I mean, you and I living in Philadelphia and knowing the backgrounds of Allen Iverson, it doesn't really surprise me all that much. He doesn't seem to be like that much of a social guy at the end of the day. Like practice, y'all talking
Well, no,
about
not
practice.
even. Oh, I had a baby. Had to throw that one in. But no, not even AI. Like Post Malone, he could have been like, "Hey, Philly, you know
Here's
this guy? Like,
AI,
get
yo,
get
yeah,
something out of it." It was so kind of like a missed moment.
yeah, I
But
agree. And I wasn't
whatever.
even
Who
there.
who gives a shit about the Sixers anyway?
Oh, that's funny. Um, Question for you. Curiosity. So many people there. I mean, probably what, 50,000? Not 50,000, probably
Do you know
30,000,
what? It was probably so a normal Phillies sellout is what, 43,000?
something like that.
And then you put another couple thousand on the field.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're pushing like I was surprised that this wasn't in the link.
Yeah, especially this time of year.
I think they could
But
have probably not
wasn't
sold out the link,
but Metallica was there at the same weekend.
so they but they took a night off. So they did Friday,
Yes.
Sunday,
And then
and
Posty was there Saturday.
Posty was Saturday. So they could have like fit that in there. I'm sure something didn't work out.
I think
And hold on, star of the show, old ass Barry Manilow was across the street.
oh,
Don't
at
forget about
Wells
that.
Fargo, right?
Yeah. So it was a hot weekend down there. So I'm sure they couldn't, that was the only way it worked or something like that.
Okay.
But
So
it was, you know what, for what it was a packed house, and just the way it's set up, you can see the state or the skyline in the background, and it was awesome, man. It
Ah,
was perfect.
all right. So next question. Um, Actually, I forgot about it real quick. No, no, no. Traffic. Because you said Metallica, because yeah, that's on my list. And Posty and then Barry Manilow. What was that like? And what did you guys do? Did you guys take SEPTA? Did you drive yourselves down there? Did you get
No,
Uber?
so we drove down it. So the start was 6:30, I think. That was
Mhm.
when the opener went on. Um, Jelly came on about, I don't know, 7, whatever. Posty came on at 9. So we got down there at like 6 o'clock, and the traffic getting down wasn't bad until you got off the exit to go to park at the stadiums. Um, and then getting out, we kind of parked away enough where it was like if you took your time, it wasn't bad. It took us like a half hour to get home. It wasn't bad.
From
Once we got out of the initial shit
yeah,
of parking down there.
exactly, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
Completely
the
understand.
bumper, like but once we got past that, like it was just you get off onto the thing, there's a little backup, but everything was moving. Well done. I don't know
Yeah.
if they meant to do that or if it just worked out that way, but it was fine.
So you're described to me and our listeners the average attendees. What did the crowd look like? Like,
It
I'm
was
curious as heck as to like, does it look like a bunch of like South Jersey farm dudes or Pocono Valley, rednecks coming down there, or was it just? I'm guessing it ran the gamut, or did you see something like on a regular basis, like, oh my god, yeah, these are right?
it was like any Philly country show.
Okay,
A lot of people from South Jersey, Philly, whatever, they think they're from the country. So they kind of, you could tell who was putting on the cowboy boots and the cowboy hat just for the night because they were wearing the cowboy hat backwards or you know what I mean?
backwards
There,
cowboy hats.
you can tell there's a way to do it.
Oh, I know.
Um, but then there's guys walking in with like their cowboy boots and their jeans and their button up. And it's like, okay, it's just a normal. So it was a lot of genuine hicks or like cowboys, but like just like
From like
country folk, I guess. I don't know.
Central Delaware, like
There was a way to tell who was playing dress up and who actually like
okay.
was about stuff. Like a South Jersey farmer, go ahead and wear your cowboy boots all
Oh,
day.
you can tell, man. Those are beat up
If
and
you're
used. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a 23-year-old girl that works in an accounting office, why are
Living
you
in
wearing
Brewery
cowboy boots?
Town.
Like, come on, and dress up. Like, go ahead, it's fun. You tell.
All right. Next question. Did you or Kate, or you and Kate, wear the boots? Wear that?
No, no, we did not.
Disappointed.
And you know
Okay.
what? We didn't buy any of the merch either because
Yeah, go into it, dude.
it was it was great merch for the people that weren't playing dress up. I didn't buy it because it was like it was cool on the back, like it was a hunter green shirt and it said the big ass stadium tour on the front or on the back, and then on the front it's like a hunter orange deer. It's like I'm not gonna fucking wear that, man. I can't pull that off. I'm a golf pro. I'm not, I don't hunt. I'm not going to wear that. So I didn't feel right buying. It was cool for what he was doing, but it just wasn't what I was going for. And I'm not a big enough Jelly Roll fan, I guess, to go buy a $60 snapback. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
it's,
think I think one of the points that we mentioned was the price of the merchandise, which seemed a little ridiculous that you
I did buy
described to
a
me.
$10 t-shirt in the parking lot, which is the way to go, baby. It may be misspelled, but who gives a shit?
Those freaking guys, man. I don't. I mean, they're out there in the beginning as you're walking in, and you see the same guy as you're walking out, like right on Broad Street, Patterson Avenue.
What
Holy
would we
moly.
call them? Is there like what like t-shirt like parking lot t-shirt salesman? I don't know. I want to give a shout out to them, but I want to give it the right way. You know what I mean? I don't want
And
to say like, "Hey, shout out to the dickheads in the parking lot selling t-shirts for." I want to be like, "Hey, thank you for your service, Mister. That's selling this guy." I don't know how to word it, but thank you guys. That's a service that I.
I'd say the quasi vendors, the guys who aren't like licensed because they're out there on the corner, and
That
then yeah,
Thank you,
quasi
quasi
vendors.
vendors. It should be a quasi vendors day.
They're there at every show, every Phillies game, every Sixers game, like every game down there, or every event down there. It's
You know
it's
what's funny?
it's
The one
impressive.
guy that sold me a shirt was wearing probably one of the shirts he was selling the week before at the Disturbed show.
Hey
So
man,
the leftovers works out for them too. They get
there you
themselves a
go. I got
shirt, they
some
make some
gear. I got
money.
some gear. You
Those
know.
guys, they're wow. They're the glue. They're the glue guys.
Holy moly. Um. So, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me, I think this is pretty close to one of the most important questions I had for you about this episode. And either I heard you say to one of the corner boys, or to myself, or to one of the bartenders, and you said there might have been a tear that was shed during the show.
Yeah, man.
All
I
right,
it
give it to me,
was
my friend.
it was oh, what song was it? I think it was What Don't Belong to Me.
Mhm.
Um and so I've been listening to that song a lot just because so the last time we talked about Post, I think I said my favorite song on there was I Had Some Help. The best song was Guy for That. I think I may change that. What Don't Belong to me, just dude, it hit something. And especially with like the sun going down, the skyline, you have a little sunset. I'll put the video in here too. It was just like I hate the saying out of a movie, but you can't script that, man. It was unbelievable. And it was to the point a couple days after like starting to talk about it, it still kind of struck that. So I don't know what it was about that song or the spot or that I wasn't able to get to see him for that long, and I finally got that. But yeah, man, it got emotional out there. But then
Wow.
the real cool thing was he had the ability to get that out of you and then play something a little more upbeat and still keep that emotion. Like not forget about it, but just kind of use that towards the next song and the next feel. And it was something special, man.
I am honestly a little bit YMZ, a little bit jealous. Just to take it back into my world, and I think I've told you this. My 85-year-old father loves Post Malone. If I could have put it together, because I think he was still in the hospital when you went to the show. So my last name is Malone, and my dad fell in love with him because his stage name is Post Malone, and I just that would have been awesome. But like, holy moly, I mean, you're saying right now that was your best concert that you ever attended.
Ever. I mean, I've had some great experiences. Again, I think I've said on here before, I grew up a huge Paramore fan.
Hmm.
And the one time, sidetrack, my dad taught the drummer of No Doubt how to play golf,
Yeah,
Adrian Young. And
yeah,
he was teaching him, he got us tickets to the No Doubt show that was in Camden. And on the way there, I just so happened to find out that Paramore was opening for him. And then I
nice.
found out that we had backstage passes to meet everybody. So I got to meet everybody that I was like, that that is second to this concert. That this
Wow.
was different,
Okay.
different.
Last question from me. What was your lady Kate's? response? Was it as positive? I mean, were you guys just like hugging each other constantly? Like how does she take it? How does
It was like we're gonna like we enjoyed it together, but also like understood we're gonna dance. We're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna kind of high five or dance together every now and then.
nice?
But it was soak it in.
Damn.
And God damn it. I'm glad
Yeah.
I did.
Making me more jealous, man. Zach, this is our first concert episode, and I want to continue to do this. And I'm really, really hoping sometime over the next 4 to 6 weeks that we can collectively get together and attend one. There's so many artists and everything going on. It's summertime. It's the time for concerts, and I'm happy we could do this. I'm happy that my co-host could go to Posty, and I'm a little jealous, you bastard.
Well, next time around, bro, we're locked.
So
Locked.
just to give everybody, there's probably going to be a pretty big Creed episode coming up soon.
Oh yeah, the boys are getting into it at Creed.
Zach, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the information. I am jealous as hell. When you said that to me at Graham's, like, oh yeah, no, shed a little tear. Damn, man, I know how you feel. I'm a pretty emotional guy myself. But any last thoughts? Any last little particularities? Any last little picadillos about the show that our listening audience might be interested in?
I would tell you guys if he is in your area, if either of them are in your area, go see them. It's the best form of live music you'll see. It's not overdone. It's what you hear on the radio, if not better. Please go see him. This was a great episode. Fighting back tears there and talking. You kind
Yeah.
of got me out of it again there, Timmy.
Yeah.
Good work. Thank you guys, whoever's listening. Again, this is our seventh episode. We are live on YouTube right now. Hopefully, by this time when this airs, we'll be on different podcast platforms. We are also on Instagram, earworm.pod. Please follow us there. Leave us some comments. I want us to grow with you guys. I want some suggestions. Yeah, follow us along. This has been fun, Timmy.
Yeah. Zach, thank you, my friend. I appreciate the content and looking forward to the next one. I gotta go to a concert. I want it to be my episode. Zach,
next.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Talk to you soon.
Enjoy the little the recap over here of the concert. Have fun. Cue. Bang.
Boom.